All teams and drivers are trying to figure out one thing in NASCAR right now: how to beat the number 18. Well, I'm going to tell you how. You can't. Hi, I'm Rob D'Amico from ChannelShift.com, your sports world on demand. Alongside Michelle Rahal, let's get you up to speed on what happened at Dover. The Monster Mile at Dover ate its first big mouthful of cars on lap 16, taking out several of the champion contenders and pushing them further down in the list in that top 12. Elliott Sadler set off the carnage when he moved down on David Gilliland, taking Hamlin, Stewart, Harvick, and half the field down with them.
Yeah, that absolutely happened. That's the last thing I expected to see on lap 16. Well, Kyle Busch held back until lap 150 and then methodically played the cat and mouse game to beat Carl Edwards by 5 seconds and Greg Biffle by another 3. Roush had 4 cars in the top 10, but none of them had anything for the kid from Las Vegas. He was on fire when he turned it on. I think he might have turned a corner in maturity. He held back and then he just let loose.
What, all of a sudden today he's mature?
All of a sudden. My God.
Edwards moved up 2 in the standings, Biffle up 6 spots, and Gordon up 4. Meanwhile, falling backwards, it was Boyer down 3 spots, Hamlin a whopping 5 points back. I mean, this guy is falling down.
That was a big hit.
That was a big hit, and it was idiotic, to be honest with you. I was very surprised. And to see the damage that he caused, he came in there so fast, it was almost uncalled for, really.
Well, and plus, they actually let the car continue to run. There's a minimum speed here. I just can't believe the guy was keeping up to minimum speed. I really can't.
All right, next on the stop for the Cup Series is Pocono.
Well, this weekend in nationwide news, Denny Hamlin takes the win, and Joey Logano makes a much-anticipated debut, ending up with a 6th place finish. Well, did he live up to the hype? There's no doubt that he did, but he wasn't impressed. He didn't like it. He thought he could do better, but he impressed the Cup drivers and the team owners alike. Hamlin had the car to beat on Saturday, waiting until he had track position to move away from the field, and Carl Edwards.
I know he was disappointed with that run, but Joey Logano did one heck of a job. 6th place, yes, that's exactly where that car needed to be. That's the kind of equipment he has.
It was a pit altercation, though. You got to stop and think for a second. He had trouble in the pits, and that cost him a few seconds. It could have cost him a spot.
Well, behind Edwards, it was a tight battle with David Stremme, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Greg Biffle. The race had been delayed for 3 hours due to rain, but when the green flag finally fell, it was under beautiful skies. Congratulations again goes out to Joe Gibbs Racing and Denny Hamlin.
I got to be honest with you. I did not think they were going to get that race in. We saw that thing at 1 o'clock, and it looked like a monsoon. And then by 4 or 5, it was clear skies and beautiful. I mean, it was amazing.
It's amazing because the concrete can dry so quickly. It's not like it's an asphalt track.
So that's all absolutely true. In the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, American former Formula One driver Scott Speed drove to the win at Dover ahead of veterans Ron Hornaday and Jack Sprague on Friday. The 25-year-old Speed drove for the Scuderia Toro Rosso team in Formula One for 1.5 seasons before a very public argument between himself and the team manager ended his stay at the team. Speed has the full backing of Red Bull and expect to see this flamboyant driver in a Sprint Cup car before the end of this year. He's got Louis Vuitton handbags and all that stuff, man. Come on.
They were on the radio calling him Toenail, and we had him on this morning on our radio program,
right.
Race Day on Fox Sports Radio, and he talked about how he gets pedicures, and they were, joking about it, having a good time with it. This kid is really talented.
Yeah, he had the tips of him painted blue. That was the funny part.
Now he's his hero. Well, Scott Speed, he's one of those guys, man. He's just so impressive out there, and he's going to be in the Cup Series very soon. Expect to see him in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series this year.
I think he will be. I think before the end of this year that they're going to fund another car, and that's exactly where it'll be. And I think he's going to give Allmendinger a run for his money.
I want to talk about the wreck we saw at Dover today. It was like the Talladega big one. I mean, once you got caught up in it, you couldn't avoid the wreck. And it was amazing to watch these guys, and especially Denny Hamlin. I don't know what the heck you were thinking out there, but you need to slow down. I mean, all the guys behind you, he said, oh, I had the number, Bobby Labonte was behind me.
He was looking at his mirrors, Rob. He's looking through his mirrors just like you do at Talladega. There's a crash. His spotter may not have gotten to him enough to say, hey, stop, 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 or low, high, whatever. But he's looking in his mirrors.
How about wake up, dummy?
Because he drove right into him. We saw it. I mean, it was a bad crash. Someone could have gotten hurt.
I got to give props to Zippy, Greg Zippadelli for Tony Stewart's crew chief. That car was demolished. They got that car back out there.
It looked like nothing happened.
Yeah, it was absolutely. I give credit to those cars and the car of tomorrow. Joey Logano living up to the hype. Yes, he did. But is it all because of his great equipment at Joe Gibbs Racing, or does this kid have that raw talent?
You have to have great equipment, but you also have to drive that equipment. There are a lot of people out there that can drive. You put them in good equipment, and they can run with Logano. But you got to have the good equipment.
I can't wait the day. I hope Kyle Busch is still around at Joe Gibbs Racing when Joey Logano comes up into the series. Those two going at it, that would be great.
It won't be long. It'll be next year. That's my prediction. Logano will be there.
All right, you got any videos? You can send it to us. Keep us up to speed as well. Send them to channelshift.com. Hit the upload button. For Michelle Rayall, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thanks for watching.